on our phones? Who says no? So you're telling me that every time you're going to access your account, you enter your password manually? Okay. Okay. How many of us do our work on the phone? Work. Any pharmacy related work on the phone. How many of us? Emails, do we access work emails on our phones? Do we look at prescriptions on our phones? Do we do e-filing of prescriptions? No? No one? Alright. Now, what if you lose this phone? What happens? Shut it down. How quickly do you shut it down? Immediately. Now, how valuable is your phone? Can you afford to lose it? I can see someone over there right now on their phones as I'm speaking. That is how important the phone has become. And that is just the phone. The phone is a computer. Do we agree? No. Is it susceptible to a cyber attack? Yes. So someone can hack your phone. How many of us have been hacked? Hands up. We don't know. All right. They don't know. Go back to the first slide for me. Now, how many of us sync our phones to our cars? To your cars, yes. So when a car comes in, it comes in through your Bluetooth. Sync, Bluetooth, yes, same thing. Sync. How many of us have a smart refrigerator at home? No smart refrigerators? How many of us sync our phones to our TVs at home? How many of us have smart TVs at home? Alright. How many of us have Alexa at home? Alexa, Siri, those electronic assistants. How many of us have them? Alright. Now, how many of us have connected our phones to our cars, to our fridges, our refrigerators, to your air condition, to your TV, to your personal assistant, and then you go and connect it to your business network? How many of us do that? Alright. How many of us travel, and as soon as we travel, the first thing we're looking for is that free Wi-Fi? Free Wi-Fi. And you try to log on to the free Wi-Fi, right? And you see that first page where you must enter the code. Now, how do you know that that page does not contain malicious content? You don't know. Now, what would it mean? That if malicious content is hiding in that first page, your phone is susceptible. Now, agree with me that if your phone is susceptible and it is connected to your car, which is a computer, and it is connected to your refrigerator, which is also a computer, which is connected to your TV, which is also a computer, which is then connected to Alexa, which is your personal assistant that knows everything about you, and who will probably discuss people with. And then now you go and plug that into your business network. What does that mean? I'm sorry? Everything is susceptible. Now, ladies and gentlemen, my intention is not to cause paranoia this afternoon. It is not. But with cybersecurity, the more you know, the safer you are. So the first point I want to get across to you is that you need to advise yourselves of the risks that are out there. We need to be aware. You'll see the title of my presentation is Cybersecurity, Don't Be Phished. No. That's not the context. That's not the context. Alright? It's not F-I-S-H, it's P-H-I-S-H. Don't be phished. Who knows what phishing is? Anyone knows what phishing is? A scam. Someone has said scam. Right. Now, if you open your email and you see a message, "Good day, sir. You have won $20 million in the Jamaica lottery." Please click the link below to enter your details to get your prize. What would you do? I'm sorry? So how many would click it? How many of us would click it? I know at least one person here going to click the link. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is not something that I'm imagining. This is something that is happening. And once you click that link, you'll know that I'll get to it in the presentation, but I'm going ahead with the presentation nonetheless. Once you click that link, chances are there is some malicious software embedded in the link that infects your computer. The aim is to get you to bite the bait. So when you throw out your hook and you bite it, what is that? Don't be fished. So what is the theme of this presentation, this discussion? Don't be fished. So when you leave here, what are you going to say? Don't. Aha! I can stop now. I think I can stop now. Okay. Sorry, for me, please. Now, what is cybersecurity? What is cybersecurity? Think about it. We work in pharmacies, we have security guards, right? And they are supposed to protect the physical plant. They are supposed to ensure there's no shoplifting. Who protects your cyber assets? Where does it start? Whose responsibility is it? You can see from the definition there that cybersecurity is really just a practice of protecting devices, systems, networks, and programs from cyber attacks. Now, this includes unauthorized access to data. You just heard the previous presenter, well, the moderator, introducing, saying, look, there are persons who have been hacked, those who are being hacked, and those who do not know that they have been hacked. That is unauthorized access to your data. When someone manages to access your data without your permission. You have interrupting business processes. They are also now using your data and holding it for a ransom. And they are extorting money or stealing money by accessing your data. So cybersecurity is really geared at putting in practices, putting in software that will allow you to guard against these threats. Now, why is it important? Think about it. How much of our lives do we hold in these devices? Think about it. I no longer go into a bank. All my transactions are done right here. I don't even go in for a bank statement anymore, unless I'm forced to. Like if you want to buy shares, they tell you you need proof of address. I don't get checks. Everything is done electronically. So if I have rent to pay, I pay it electronically. So why is it important? Think about your line of work. What type of information do you get electronically? Now, if I am to compromise your payment systems, because all of us, I presume, use electronic payment systems. Your point of sale machines, or your health card machines. Similar point of sale machines. If I compromise it, how will you get your payments? Think about it. If I attach a skimming machine to your point of sale machine and I skim your customers' cards, what does that do to your business? I wouldn't come back to your pharmacy. How many of us check our point of sale machines regularly? One person, really? How many of us check our point of sale machines regularly? Unless I'm speaking to the wrong audience. Are we concerned with point of sale machines in this room? We are? You check if it's working though, don't. It works, right? And don't if the transaction doesn't go through, you get upset. No, so why don't we check it to see whether or not anything has been attached to it? This is cybersecurity. You might ask, oh, trust me, there are ways. But that is card fraud, which is also a cybercrime, which also requires us to be cyber secure. Now, we have not gone into that in the presentation itself, but this is something that you deal with on a daily basis, and it's something that you might need to consider. Again, we are not asking you to be paranoid. We are just saying, be aware. Who has access to your point of sale machines? Cashier only? Okay. Overnight, we are the point of sale machines. In the store, same place on the counter. Who watching it? I hear the camera watching it. Ladies and gentlemen, the point I'm trying to make is we have to be aware. We have to be aware of these card scams. We have to be aware of, and it's everybody's responsibility. Now, think again. Think about your modern existence now. What aspect of it does not involve the use of some form of computer, some form of data storage, some form of sharing information about yourself electronically? Let's go again. Facebook. On Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Boy, we're not very social in this room at all. Instagram. We're antisocial bad. But look at this now. Look at this now. We have WhatsApp though. Alright. And we trust WhatsApp. Why? Why do we trust WhatsApp? Because it has end-to-end encryption. Right? So that is why we trust WhatsApp. Now let me ask you something. Do you store customer data electronically? How many of us? Hand in the air. Do we store customer data electronically? So everybody stores customer data electronically. How do you store that customer data? Is it encrypted like WhatsApp? No. We store it in plain text, right? So if I get your password, go into your machine, pull up the name Orrett Brown, I can see whether or not Orrett Brown have AIDS. Don't. And I can see the treatment, and I can see whether or not I move from HIV to full blown. Just by getting your password. And this we are talking about in the physical place. How many of us use the password 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Hands in the air. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. QWERTY 1 at 3. QWERTY 1 at 3. How many of us use the name of our cats? Name of our dogs? Mother's name? Date of birth? Children's name? Children's name? Girlfriend's name? Wife's name? Your side chick name? But I'm not getting involved in that. No, these are easily decipherable. So, and look, I can get that information about you very easily, you know. If I go to Facebook, look for your profile, I might see your spouse's name. I might see your children's name. I might see your date of birth. So what we must understand is that cyber attackers are very sophisticated. Very, very sophisticated. And sometimes when they are targeted in their operation, they use all these social media to get your information. Again, we must be aware. So I wouldn't recommend using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or if my name is splattered all over the place, I would necessarily use that name for my password. Now, there are some possible threats that you need to be aware of. This is not exhaustive. So you have malware, which you will see is just an abbreviated name for malicious software. You have phishing, you have spear phishing, and you have denial of service attacks. Denial of service attacks speaks for itself, really, in that they will block the service that you are relying on. And they usually do it by sending a lot of email to your email account or your IP address, which prevents legitimate email from coming in. Now, if your service is denied like that and you're heavily online based, what does it do to your business? Cripples your business, it slows it down. Now, as I said before, malicious software is called malware, and this is what it is typically designed to do: to block access to computer, to data or systems, cause extensive damage to data and systems, seize control of data or systems, and gain unauthorized access to the network. Now, malware is usually delivered by email. And why do you think email is the most popular choice of attackers? Think about it. What do you use most in your business to communicate? Email. So it means you are most likely to open an email that appears legitimate. So, you might have a contractor that you have an online relationship with. And I will mimic that page as an attacker, send you information to say, look, I need you to start sending funds to this account instead of that account. The email will look like the official email that you're accustomed to, but there are differences that you can highlight if you're aware of them. So now you go ahead and decide that, okay, I've received this email correspondence, and since we have established this relationship, you automatically start sending it to the new account number. Guess whose account number that is? The scammers. And you have been what? No. Fished. Scammed is right too, but we are using the term fished. And what would that mean? That would mean now that your business suffers. Why? Because not only have you sent the money to the wrong place, you will now have to make good with your contractor, especially if the services have been supplied already. So, why not such a serious change? You have been using this account for so long. Why all of a sudden there is this change? Why not step away from the email, make a telephone call? I see you have sent this email. Is that so? No, that is not so. And what now you have done is that you have alerted that person to the fact that, look, someone has spoofed your email, really, for want of a better word, clone it. Or someone is using an attack or has attacked your system. It will alert that person, and it will alert you too. Because an important aspect of cybersecurity is that we must develop a culture of reporting these things. Near misses, actual attacks, you need to report them. Report them to IT. Report them to the person responsible for your network security. Report them amongst each other. If you have a blog or another forum that you discuss events or happenings in your industry, discuss it. Because when everybody is alert to it, it will be less successful. Now, you may also import malware into your systems by your thumb drive. Who knows what this is? You can't see it? Sorry, I can't magnify it. It's a flash drive. It's a little small though. It's a flash drive. Do we know a flash drive? Right. Some of the questions might be dumb, but it's to get you to interact with me, alright? This flash drive, how many places do we stick this flash drive? You know, this side of the audience is very problematic. This side of the audience, they need the detention. Let me go to this side. How many places do we stick these things? What was that? All over. And then after you stick it all over, where you going to put it back? This side now. After they stick it all over, where are they going to stick it in again? Where? I'm not hearing. You're going to now place this back into your business network. Suppose you have placed it into a machine that has a malware, that is infected by malware. You don't know. But you go and you place it back into your machine. What will it do? What is one of the likely outcomes? Your business network will be infected. So what does it mean, ladies and gentlemen? We need to be careful where we stick our things. Or we put systems in place where we ensure that if a flash drive is infected, you can test it before it reaches your business system. You may have a standalone computer that is used only for these things, so that it can be scanned to see whether or not there is malware. So of course, that computer would have to have anti-malware software installed, antivirus software installed, and all the 9 yards, right? Antivirus is not foreign to us. Anti-malware is not foreign to us. No. How many of us have tech teams? Hands, please. Tech teams. Oh, I'm sorry. Technical support. That we don't rely on ourselves to provide technical support. How many of us do our own technical support? Okay. How many of the persons that do your technical support are actually trained technicians? I should say every hand down. So, also, you might browse some websites that have malicious content. Now, how many of us work in institutions that block certain email, certain websites? Block Facebook. Of course, not you. Can't take IT, you know. IT, them a fight the youths. IT, you know, say sometime we want to watch like a YouTube for just build back and build up our vibes. You know, when you reach about 10, 11 o'clock, when you hit that block, or you're working late, and you need a little break, you know, and you want to play some music on YouTube, you can't. But sometimes it is for good reason. And a part of the thing is too, that sometimes we need to communicate reasons for doing things to staff members. And I think that will afford us some amount of buy-in. And it is true that sometimes decisions are taken without advising staff. So I work in an organization where certain pages were blocked. Facebook, YouTube, and all those things. I was one of the persons who said, well, boy, IT, I don't know when I go on with still, you know. Because when I'm here at 10 and 11, well, 9 and 10 at night, I might need a little music to take me through. And it was explained why. But what they were able to do is that they were able to create a network or an access point that was separate from our main network. Segregated it. So it meant that there was no access really between the network where we could go to YouTube and the network where sensitive material might be kept or stored, which in a way limits the possibility of the network being through a malicious website. But there are still restrictions on what websites we can go to, and it's for good reason. So, when IT explains that to you, be a little more understanding. Viruses, think about your biological viruses. They infect one and they spread. So they will infect one file, spread to other files, destroy the files. The files become inoperable. Now, if your machine, let's say you have a machine that contains all your patient client records, all your financial records, you don't have a backup, and it is infected, turns into gibberish, what happens to your business? You need a new business, right? But if you take steps, proper antivirus, proper firewall, and think about the firewall, you know, the engine of your car, there's that lining at the back of the engine which prevents the heat from coming into the car itself. The firewall. It's the same concept. It prevents unwanted or malicious actors from coming into your network. It's like a gate. It might not be for you, but it might be for your technical person. So you have to ensure that in discussions with that person, if you need to have discussions with that person, you at least are aware of some of these terms. Worms, as the name suggests, it infects one machine, then it moves around the network, compromising an entire network. And once the network is compromised, what does that mean? Again, business suffers. Now you might mitigate the risk if you have a good technical team that can catch it early. You will mitigate that risk. But also, what we need is to ensure that staff is able to identify when there is a problem. And that is important. And another theme throughout this presentation is for us to understand that we have to advise ourselves, but we have to advise other members of staff as well. Knowledge is really power in this aspect. Spyware. Spyware is where the malicious content is in the background of your computer or your network. And what it does is that it records everything that you do, including credentials that you might have entered. So you go in to Scotiabank online, you enter your name, you enter your card number, you enter your password, you answer your security question, they have it. It is transmitted to the attacker. You don't know because it's there in the background lurking. You do it again, Scotiabank asks you another question, because at five of them, right? Ask you another question. All the Scotiabank people them know, you know. Yeah. Ask you another question. You enter it again, they get that one too. Tomorrow, you do another transfer, you enter another name, you gone 3. All of a sudden, they have all 5. So what does that mean? They can access your account. They can access, if it's a business account, they can access business account because they have the information. So again, we have to be careful. And this is all, because we have been infected by malicious software. Ransomware, as the name suggests, this is very popular now. What they do is that they infect your account, and this usually comes by phishing. They send you a link that is malicious, that contains malicious content. You click it, and you're infected. And once you're infected, what the attacker does is that it uses encryption to lock the data. Now you need the data. So them say, all right, you need your data. We need 20 million. Pay 20 million, we give you the decryption key, you get back access to your data. Now it's not a guarantee that you're going to get it. But if you pay the money, the data might be opened. Now, all this could come from a simple phishing attack, where an unknowing user of a computer clicks on a malicious link. So we have been touching on phishing. Phishing normally comes from an official, legitimate looking email address. Somebody you know. So for instance, your bank might be going on an upgrade. And you get a message say, we are doing a systems upgrade. We need to verify your account. And you say box, card number, password. How many of us entered our card number and password the other day? Is that right? I won't call you out. So you enter your password, enter your card number. Who knows your password and card number? The cyber attacker. What can he do to your account? Wipe it out. Right? So you have to be wary. So we are going to move on to some of the steps to avoid phishing. Be wary of emails that you don't know or that you don't expect, asking for your password and your user information. It is unlikely that a bank is going to ask you for that. So we have to be wary. We have to be a little suspicious about these emails. Now if a link comes in and says click this link because we need your account will be deactivated if you don't give us the data, but click this link. Why not take up the phone and call? Alternatively, look at the link. Look at the link. If you put your cursor over the link, you'll see the link expand. Compare the expanded link to the link in the email. See if it's the same thing. Look closely, because sometimes what they do is change characters. So for instance, PayPal customers faced phishing attacks recently. And a part of it was that the PayPal was actually PayPal1. It's not an L. So what it means is that sometimes the characters will change. Alternatively, if it says, look, your account will be deactivated, why not, instead of clicking the link, you know that the website is www.jncb.com, why not go up to and enter jncb.com and use that instead of the link. Don't click the link. Don't be. Aha. Spear phishing. You know spear gun? No, it's a real term, and me make it up. You know spear gun? Alright, so one fish at a time. Fish get hooked, right? Alright. So spear phishing is a similar concept. It's a more targeted phishing campaign. So they will look at someone within your organization. They will research you through all the social media, get important information to you, about you, and then address you. So they could say, dear Orrett, we are working on this upgrade for your business account. We would like for you to send us back your business account details. And I really would like your password as well. Of course, the man referred to me as dear Orrett. So this must be legitimate, don't? So I enter it. What happened? I was spear phished. I was spear phished. So what it means now is that they might have access to not only the banking information, but some attacks don't only want banking information. Some attacks want to get access to the system. So you might be working on a drug, and your rival wants the formula. That's the right term, formula? Alright, formula. And I know you have it stored somewhere. And I use that access now that I got through Orrett Brown to weasel my way through the system, hack your system, and steal your information, steal your proprietary information. And this comes from what? One click on a malicious link. Because perhaps I was not careful enough. Again, type in the address, over the link, see what the expanded address is. If it doesn't match, don't click. Don't click any at all. find out. You have another thing them call whaling, you know. But you see whaling now, whaling is for the big fish them. The CEO and the chief financial officer, that type of level, C-suite level. And they target C-suite persons to give information. Or if they don't target the C-suite person to get the information, what they might do is that they might jump on the C-suite person's email, spoof it or clone it, the thread, send some, so you have the chief financial officer sending to the accountant saying, accountant, change all these business accounts. Start to pay them to this business account. You have been whaled. Business email compromise, it is called. So it's very, very sophisticated. But it sometimes starts from very simple things. A human being clicking on the wrong link. So avoid despair. We have been going through some of these. Be wary of unsolicited mail and unexpected mails, especially those that call for urgency. Because you see, all this is called social engineering. It's human psychology. When things are urgent, we might not give it as much thought as we need to. So you are told, hey, your account will be deactivated. Your account will be deactivated in 24 hours if you don't do this. So without thinking, we enter information. Because it plays upon human psychology. Similarly, if someone in authority sends us a message, we might not look beyond it. We might say, well, chief technical director or the chief financial officer said this, I am going to do this. It's a part of human psychology. So those messages that speak about urgency and all that, take a step back. And if you're unsure, don't click. Utilize controls such as spam filters, antivirus, anti-malware software. Right? This slide says inspect, inspect, inspect. We have covered some of that ground. Always inspect the link. The email is asking you to click to make sure it points to a legitimate address. Alternatively, go directly to the legitimate website without clicking on the email link. That is, just enter it into your browser or into your address bar. I say training is critical. I think we have made this point. So you have to train your staff. And staff must understand the importance of being cyber secure. Training should also, you see, the next thing, one thing that training must teach is that you have to report it. We have an anti-informer culture in Jamaica, but it doesn't work in cybersecurity. We have to develop a culture of reporting these things. Because each near miss or each actual breach is a lesson. The WannaCry ransomware in 2016 affected a significant number of hospitals under the National Health Service in the UK. Blocking service. It was a ransomware attack. But it blocked service. Persons had to be diverted from certain health centers because of the attack. So they thought initially that it was because of a phishing attack. Someone clicking on a malicious link. It was not. It was a vulnerability in one of the operating systems. And that is the next thing you'll see. That in addition to training, you must ensure that your software and devices are up to date. It does not make... Who uses Windows XP now? Who remembers Windows XP? Me alone? Anybody? Windows XP, man? It came after no, not Explorer. Explorer is a web browser. Windows XP? Oh, Tommy, no, Minister all. Who still uses Windows XP? No one? No, man. XP either before 10 or after after 10. But XP now is no longer supported. So if it's no longer supported, it means what? That there are no security upgrades. There are no patches. Because every software has a vulnerability, which is identified and can be exploited. But each time it is identified, the manufacturer patches it, creates an upgrade. Now if you're using an outdated software, outdated devices, there is no patch. So what does it make your system? Vulnerable. Because another thing you have to do is that the first thing you have to do before you start security training is to assess your vulnerabilities. You might have to get assistance, professional assistance to assess your data vulnerabilities so that you can know what is needed to fix them, to avoid the threats and mitigate the risks. So that is important. I've spoken about password management. You can't keep your passwords in a drawer. That is unsecure. Can't keep them on a piece of paper. That is unsecure. Best as possible, passwords should be sufficiently difficult for a person to decipher. You can use a two-factor process. You might use a password or a biometric print, some aspect of biometric data. So now many persons are using a fingerprint along with a password. Are there other things that you can attach to the password? Some people give you a security token. Now NCB does that, gives you a security token in addition to your password. Scotia does it. Scotia hasn't given me one yet, but we'll see. You must change your default password. Default passwords come with every software, every machine. Easily decipherable. Easily decipherable. Again, you must restrict access to sensitive data. It's not everybody in an enterprise need access to data. It's not everybody in an enterprise need access to a machine. At the same time, think about separating them. You might have public Wi-Fi as opposed to your private Wi-Fi or your private network that does all your business. Because if you have the two of them running on the same network, someone might access your public Wi-Fi and creep over into your business systems. So those are things that you have to consider. Well, if not you, you're a technical person. Flash drives are easily infected with malware, so we'll restrict the use, limit the use of flash drives in your systems. Even if you have to use them, ensure that they are encrypted or otherwise protected. Because what if you drop a flash drive? If I drop my phone, I might lose my banking information. If you drop your flash drive or your laptop that you use in your business, what happens to the information? That's a data breach as well. Now, I close by saying cybersecurity is everyone's business. A culture of security awareness is critical to ensuring a secure cyber environment. Vigilance is key. Now, I did not say paranoia. I said vigilance. And you have to be aware. So, when I close, what is my closing remark? Don't be pushed. All right.
Any questions for Mr. Brown?
How vulnerable is the iOS software compared to Android when it comes to cyber attacks?
Oh, you're asking me a big boy question now. Yeah, you might need to see me after.
All right.
No, but to be very frank with you, I don't know of the comparison. But the iOS is considered a very secure system. More secure than the Android system, as far as I am aware. But I don't have any technical data to back up that claim.
Can I stop my staff from, is there something I can do to stop the staff or reduce the temptation or remove it from surfing on their workstations?
Sorry?
Can I stop my staff from surfing on their workstations?
You can block the websites.
Just so the only thing you can do is block the websites. But what about stopping surfing altogether? In other words, they make it that I can't go to any www.
I'm sure your technical person can configure block that as well.
Can be done.
It's possible.
Okay.
Right, just speak to your technical person.
Right.
Yes, you are the technical person.
No, we have external.
You might need something.
We have external tech
so
stuff.
ask external partner to block that, to block
Yes.
surfing. They can do it.
Okay.
Everybody coming out.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for those questions.
Right, I'll repeat the question. When if your antivirus prevents you from going to the site, you could try typing the site manually. If it prevents you, then there might be a number of reasons for that. It might be something with the other site's security certificate for whatever reason might have been deemed secure. Right? I would not necessarily override it unless I'm sure that that is a website that I want to go to.
Gentleman over there.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
All right, we have an incognito tab that we can click on our when we're using the computer or the phones, right? So how well does that window, the incognito window, works against cybercrime?
If you have good cybersecurity, let me see if I'm understanding your question. You are speaking about that function that allows you to turn off, to hide. Now, my view is if you have very good cybersecurity, that ought not to make a difference. You should be able to locate and prevent you from accessing whatever website you are trying to access. That is my view. If you have good antivirus, anti-malware, anti-spam software installed on your machine, and if you have good external providers, so let's say for instance your data is in the cloud, you have an external service provider that is responsible for your cybersecurity. I don't think
I better ask him
site
in private.
should be able to penetrate your defenses.
I wanted to ask before you leave. You said to report breaches, but who do you report to? And yes,
I'm sorry.
And is there an organization in Jamaica that helps you if you have these attacks?
All right. That's a very good question. We have a cyber incident cyber incident response team in Jamaica. It's based at Hempstead. That's
Where
the
is
Ministry of Science, Technology, Energy and Mining, I believe it is, right? You can report it to them, right? If you go to the website, I believe it's www.cirt.jm.gov. You will see that as recently as the 28th of May, they posted alerts advising of threats that are currently out there. They also posted alerts indicating software patches that have been recently released. So if I remember it correctly, Cisco has just released a software patch for one of its versions, one of the versions of the software that it produces. So that is one place that you could formally report it. But the reference I was making really is that the initial report must go to your internal IT personnel. So if you have someone, if you have an IT department, a head of IT, or an IT officer, the first report must be to that person. presume ideally that IT department will have a response strategy to deal with whatever issue might have arisen. And all they will do is initiate that process. They then can choose to escalate it to CERT, because CERT is really island-wide and you can enlist their assistance if necessary. And I want to make the point too that certainly from a cyber forensic crime aspect, crime investigation aspect of things, Jamaica is actually considered a leading nation in the Caribbean.
A leading nation?
Leading nation
in cybercrime?
In cybercrime, cyber.
That's what.
We have the National Cybercrime Strategy.
Yes.
Cyber
I want
response.
to.
So we have it in place, and we will see. The next thing is you must back up your data. That's the last point I want to make. Back up your data. Back it up.
Alright, thank you so much. I notice everybody has questions. So guess what? Mr. Brown is just gonna stick around for a bit. So when we're finished, you can all get to talk to him, alright? I invite Miss Carol Marshall to do the honors.
And look how long I have.
Mr. Brown. Thanks. Mr. Brown, a very, very interesting presentation. Very thought-provoking, very provocative, very mind-blowing, very scary. So thank you. Thank you for sharing with us. And yeah, we're very paranoid now. So we, at Cari-Med, in association with Sanofi, would like to present this token to you. Enjoy. Thank you very much.